Welcome to Tarot Today. You know what time it is. If you want a one-on-one reading, I'm always available for that, so we can always do that. But then I also offer a lot when it comes to free or very cheap services. I do the emoji tarot readings like I did yesterday, which is either free or by donation, amount of your choosing. Or I also offer until the end of summer a one-on-one call, an hour long, about authenticity and vulnerability in your everyday life and work and embodying that. And that is sliding scale, minimum $30. So there's no reason why we haven't worked together yet, unless you're just afraid to work with somebody that's willing to go that deep, which I understand. Very understandable. So, I'm going to say my card prayer and get to it. Spirit of angels, truth, love, light, and benevolent darkness, please bless every word that's about to come out of my mouth. Please give me the most concise, succinct message possible for my general reading, unless I get directed by you otherwise for a certain subset of people. Please remove my ego so that I can be present with the words you give me and I can step out of the way of those words. I only invite energies that have our highest good in mind. I invite my guides, you can invite your own. I invite my deities of choice, you can invite your own. They're all welcome here as long as they have our highest good in mind. Basically, I believe energy all connects. And everything is love anyway, so we can invite love as well with a capital L. I think I'm going to say that every single time. I fucking love that. That felt really powerful. I like that. That's juicy. Alright, now with these cards, is there a particular group of people that need to be hearing from me the most? Yeah, I think it's just for everybody. I'm hearing the survivors. I think that's everybody. Everybody's been through so much. And if you're still here, you're a survivor. So I think that's everybody. But I think survivor is also a mindset. Maybe this is really the point that they're drilling home. I did just post something about you've survived, but now you have to live. You have to get used to that. I don't know why my nose always starts to run every time I start talking. So I guess, yeah, for the survivors, we'll get 2 cards for the survivors. We can get some advice out of 2 cards. Advice for the survivors. We'll take this as far as it needs to go, but I'm going to start with 2 cards. Wow, that's great. Oh, that's weird. We have major arcana, upright. And I've never noticed how similar these cards are to each other. We always... Whew, wow. I'm like, oh, we'll just do 2 cards, but they give us some really deep cards. Like I said, we're going to take this as deep as it needs to go, but we have the Judgment card that came out first, and the Devil card that came out second. See how similar they are? We always talk about the Judgment, I don't know what's wrong with me, the Devil being similar to the Lover's card. But we never talk about how similar these cards are. So, this is pretty... I'm feeling like this is a wake-up call. We're getting an opportunity to let go of obsession or or use the obsession in a constructive way. The Devil can mean many things. It can be sexual, compulsion, or obsession, or it can be a type of play or mischief. So it's not necessarily a terrible card. It's really a trick of the mind. How stuck are you in here? How do you keep using your energy? Do you keep plugging into the right things or the wrong things? Are you obsessively ruminating on things? I just noticed how the Devil's hand in this, he kind of has abs. I don't know if it'll show. Come on, focus. It's not. Oh. It's got like an ab pattern. So fucking weird. But the Judgment card is an aha, a eureka, an awareness, or a sense that doesn't make sense, that things are going to be extremely set right. These people are literally raising up from the dead. It's like Judgment Day. So the wheat from the chaff is being separated. Things that don't matter are falling away. If you let it, the Devil card's still here. You might want to cling for comfort's sake to whatever that means for you. Both of these, it could be a relationship, a job, a routine, a self-sabotaging pattern. That's a good word. So I want one more card to clarify what area of life this Judgment Devil situation is happening. I'm feeling like it's relationships, but I want to know for sure. Like interpersonal. I was just talking with my roommate bestie about this, like, business. I was talking to her about business. So, interpersonal relationships in business. It's my raw cacao drink. So what is the card? Queen of Swords. The area of life this is taking place in is your mind. There is this, I'm going to use a metaphor, a story metaphor. I don't think she's still alive anymore. But this lady that, I think she was a Sagittarius. I grew up knowing her. She was my godparents' mother. One of my godparents' mother. So she was kind of in the family, but not. But she was scary to me as a kid, and I hated her because she had really abrupt manners. She was clear and would say no really quickly, and she would reprimand you so fast. And I always took that to be that I called her a bitch. I was using that word, and I was probably like 7 years old. And I was describing her to my eldest sister. And she goes, "Oh, don't worry about her. I've known her my whole life too, and she's really a sweet person. You just have to understand her." And I never got that until I became like 13, 14 years old. It started to make sense then. She just had good boundaries. She wasn't a bitch. She just had good boundaries. You know, she was just had a very clear yes and a very clear no. And she was not plussed about sitting somebody down and giving them a verbal warning. And then she was very not shy about having to turn around and discipline somebody at the same time. But I learned that she always did all of these things with a certain level of kindness. And but you had to really see her. You had to look into her to really notice this about her. So this is what it's reminding me of. This is a woman who's just very clear with her boundaries. So this, you know, and it could be that you're feeling like you need to speak up about something, but you're sort of underneath the energy. Like you're sort of waiting for a wake-up call. Or you're obsessed about the right way to say it, even. Perhaps. I think this is just in every area of life, although tell me, is that like online? Or is that like in person? So it's in person, physical. Knight of Pentacles. Oh my God, why did I say Wands? Knight of Pentacles. So this is physical. So in your physical world, you need better boundaries. You don't have to give up fun to have good boundaries, but you need to be in integrity. And if you're not feeling integrity, then you're feeling something less than, and you're either settling or you're in your ego about something. And I think this is a big warning about not being in your ego. It's easy to correct people, but is it easy to be open to seeing two sides of an argument, or open to playing with new perspectives, or open to wake-up calls that you might be the problem? What if you're the problem? What if it is something you said? What are you going to do about it in your physical world? How are you going to atone for the things that you've been wasting time on that isn't in integrity? You're waiting for a notification. This is it. So how does this pertain to the survivors? Have you ever realized that you had your guard up around somebody because you perceived them to be a certain way, and maybe you got disillusioned at some point, Or maybe energy switched up. You don't really know how to handle it, and it's been playing on your mind. So you're obsessing mentally about something in the physical world. Could even be about money. We were talking about business previous. So listen, it could be, okay, flat out relationships or business relationships. If you're not feeling like your worth is being met financially, and it's playing on your mind heavily, if you feel like you could be paid better elsewhere, not quickly, but slowly make your way elsewhere. Because energy like the Judgment and the Devil card is going to be forced. A forced, like it puts you back in survival mode if you don't take control of things right now, is what I'm getting. Your decisions need to be made in the physical world. This is a big week for making a big decision. And I trust whenever you see this, this is going to be relevant to you. These are always timeless, but this week, and I mean that when you see this week, is going to be one of not small decisions, but maybe several small decisions leading up to a big one, or about an obsession that you've been mulling over for a really long time, weighing things out. The impossible becomes possible. You're kind of pushing the energy down with your mind, your mental rat race, when you could be trusting in higher energies. Polarity. This is a polarity situation. You're on, you know, it's like you're perceiving maybe a big separation when there isn't. And that's what you're obsessing on. So I would say be patient, but prepare yourself to be in action in the physical soon. And, you know, be open to good conversations at the very least, regardless of the situation. Oh my God. Was that intricate enough? So it looks like money is involved, perhaps, or some type of emotional investment, thought investment, at the very least. But healing can come. I feel like, you know, you might have a mentality of a survivor, so you can't take yourself as seriously as all that. When are you going to live? Ed? Oh, well, you know, just because you're obsessed doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It means you have something that you're trying to figure out about yourself. And everything that you're obsessing about is like an inward reflection of you, somehow. You need to figure that out. My bangs are too long. They're poking me in the eyelids. Just because you're obsessed with it doesn't mean that it's not an integrity for you to be obsessed with it. So don't be upset with yourself for having that mental energy, but it's up to you to be able to untangle your energy from those thoughts. You have to sort of separate, be in the middle of the Judgment card and the Devil card. Be impartial to your own emotions floating by. Be the witness. But it's okay to be obsessed about something. Just don't verbally act on it, and don't just because things seem big and unknown doesn't make it bad. It means you need to get your mind around it and change your perspective. Hopefully that makes sense. So the survivors are still doing a tiptoey dance, but you want to make sure that you're not being your own worst mental enemy right now. Queen of Swords is fair, and she sees both sides of the thing. Good boundaries are good for everybody. Okay, so I'll leave it at that. That's the end of the reading for now. I have to go to a doctor's appointment. It is my dermatology appointment. And yeah, I've got a bunch of little chores to do today. I'll work out. So I feel really luteal phase, low energy. And I have a hard time making up my mind right now. So maybe I'll have to rewatch this myself and take it as it was. Because these readings are never for me. They're for everybody, but they're not just for me. I can't read my own cards. That's not my job. My job is to live these things. So I'm finding out just like you. And I never know what I'm going to say. I step out of the way for that. So it's going to be another warm day. But it's not as warm as it was this weekend. It was scorching. I still feel very worn down from it. But I just took some Shilajit. And I have my raw cacao drink. So we're just about set. I love you guys. It's a marvelous, majestic Monday. Love you guys.